Ever wondered how medieval sailors survived months at sea while modern ships need massive freezer systems? No ice, no electricity, no preservatives, just ingenious ocean techniques using unique maritime foods that kept crews fed during voyages lasting years. Unique maritime preservation. 1. Salted cod. Stack's medieval sailors mastered cod preservation by layering fresh fish with coarse sea salt in wooden crates. This controlled dehydration, removed moisture, while concentrating nutrition, creating rock-hard blocks lasting months. Without spoilage, different salt ratios were applied based on fish size and voyage duration. The preserved cod prevented bacterial growth while maintaining protein quality essential for crew nutrition. Sailors broke off portions as needed, soaking them in water to restore edibility, providing crucial protein during extended voyages. 2. Ships, sauerkraut. Medieval sailors fermented cabbage into sauerkraut using shipboard techniques that prevented scurvy during long voyages. Fresh cabbage was shredded and packed in wooden barrels with precise salt ratios, encouraging beneficial bacterial growth. Ship movement enhanced fermentation efficiency compared to land-based production. The fermented cabbage provided essential vitamin C, preventing deadly scurvy when fresh vegetables were unavailable. Sailors consumed small daily portions that lasted entire voyages while maintaining health in humid ship conditions. 3. Pressed meat blocks. Medieval sailors created concentrated protein blocks by pressing various meats, beef, pork, lamento, dense, portable forms. The pressing technique removed moisture while concentrating protein density, maximizing nutrition per pound in cramped ship holds. Different meat combinations were used for specific voyage requirements: fattier meats for cold crossings, leaner proteins for tropical voyages. Salt-cured cloth wrapping prevented spoilage while maintaining meat quality. These blocks could be sliced as needed, providing fresh-tasting protein throughout extended voyages without refrigeration. 4. Oatmeal cakes. Medieval sailors prepared dense oatmeal cakes, combining oats with animal fats and honey into compressed nutrition blocks. Oats were cooked with rendered fats until thick, then formed into flat cakes that dried hard for portability. Different fats were used based on destinations: whale oil for Arctic expeditions, pork fat for temperate crossings. The cakes provided immediate energy when dry or could be softened in water. Honey added natural preservation while supplying complex carbohydrates for sustained crew energy. Ocean-specific techniques. Kelp wrapping. Medieval sailors used fresh kelp and seaweed for natural food preservation through antimicrobial properties. Kelp was harvested at coastal stops to wrap meat, fish, and vegetables, creating preservation. Packages through ocean salt absorption. Natural iodine and salt content created hostile environments for bacteria. While maintaining food quality, different seaweed types provided varying preservation. Thick kelp for meats, delicate sea lettuce for vegetables, rockweed for binding packages. Barrel aging systems. Medieval sailors developed sophisticated barrel aging systems that improved alcoholic beverages during ocean voyages while providing essential liquid nutrition and safe hydration. Ship archaeology findings from preserved medieval vessels reveal specialized barrel construction designed for ship movement that enhanced rather than damaged aging processes. The constant ship motion agitated barrel contents, accelerating aging. Processes that normally took years on land into months at sea. Different wood types were selected for specific beverages: oak for wine aging, ash for ale storage, pine for spirits preservation, each contributing unique flavors during ocean aging. Barrel positioning in ship holds utilized temperature variations and moisture levels to create optimal aging conditions for different beverages. The aging process created complex flavors, while natural alcohol content provided safe hydration when ship's water became contaminated. Sailors monitored aging progress through sampling systems that allowed quality control without compromising barrel integrity. Ocean-aged beverages often achieved superior quality compared to land-aged equivalents due to constant motion and controlled environmental conditions. This technique provided both immediate nutritional value and improving quality over time, making barrels increasingly valuable as voyages progressed. Ship's puddings. Medieval sailors created portable meals by wrapping mixtures of grains, meats, and fats in cloth bundles that could be boiled in seawater, creating nutritious puddings that sustained crews during extended voyages. Monastery coastal records of sailor food preparation document pudding techniques that combined available ingredients into complete meals, requiring only boiling water for preparation. The pudding mixture included oats, barley, dried meat, animal fats, and preserved vegetables wrapped tightly in salt-treated cloth that prevented ingredient separation during cooking. Different pudding recipes were created for specific voyage needs: high-fat versions for cold ocean crossings, lighter preparations for tropical voyages, medicinal versions, including herbs for sick crew members. The cloth wrapping technique allowed multiple puddings to be boiled simultaneously in large pots using seawater. Conserving fresh water while providing hot meals during rough weather when cooking was difficult, prepared puddings could be stored for days after cooking, providing ready meals when weather prevented fresh cooking. The technique created filling, nutritious meals that improved crew morale while providing essential nutrition during challenging ocean conditions. This method maximized nutrition while minimizing cooking fuel and fresh water usage. Dried pea soups. Medieval sailors relied on dried pea preparations that provided essential protein and carbohydrates while preventing malnutrition diseases, common during extended ocean voyages without fresh vegetables. Trade route documentation shows dried pea storage and preparation methods that sustained crew health when other protein sources were scarce or spoiled. Dried peas were stored in waterproof containers that protected against ship moisture, while maintaining nutritional quality throughout long voyages. The preparation process involved soaking peas in available ships, water, or ale, then boiling into thick soups that provided filling, nutritious meals. Different pea varieties were selected for specific nutritional benefits: yellow peas for energy, green peas for vitamins, black peas for protein density. The soups could be enhanced with available preserved meats, fats, or salt to create varied flavors and improve nutrition. Pea soups provided essential amino acids that prevented muscle weakness while offering vitamins that reduced scurvy risk when combined with other preserved foods. The preparation technique required minimal fuel while creating large quantities. A filling food that satisfied hungry crews. Dried peas also served as emergency rations that could be consumed raw if cooking became impossible during storms or fuel shortages. Exotic maritime foods. Whale oil storage. Medieval sailors utilized whale oil as both preservation medium and nutrition source, creating unique food storage systems that worked specifically in cold ocean environments where whale hunting was possible. Naval battle accounts mention whale oil storage techniques that preserved other foods while providing concentrated calories essential for survival in harsh maritime conditions. Fresh whale blubber was rendered aboard ship into pure oil that created airtight storage environments for meats, vegetables, and other perishable foods. The oil's high caloric content provided essential energy during cold ocean voyages. When crew energy demands increased significantly, different whale species provided oils with varying preservation qualities: sperm whale oil for delicate foods, bowhead whale oil for robust preservation, gray whale oil for general storage. The oil prevented oxidation and bacterial growth while maintaining food quality throughout extended voyages in cold waters. Whale oil storage worked particularly well for preserving fresh fish caught during voyages, extending their edibility from days to weeks. The technique also provided emergency nutrition when other food supplies were exhausted, as the oil itself could be consumed for survival calories. This method created renewable preservation systems available whenever whales could be successfully hunted during ocean expeditions. Pickled shark. Medieval sailors developed shark preservation techniques that transformed these abundant ocean predators into lasting protein sources during voyages through shark-populated waters. Shipwreck cargo analysis reveals shark preservation methods that utilize the fish's natural characteristics to create unique preserved foods. Shark meat was prepared through specialized cutting and salt curing processes that neutralized toxins. While concentrating protein and creating distinctive flavors, the preservation technique involved removing shark skin, cutting meat into specific strips, then curing in concentrated salt solutions that drew out moisture while preventing bacterial growth. Different shark species required varying preparation methods: smaller sharks for quick curing, larger species for extended preservation processes. The high urea content in shark meat was reduced through controlled curing that made the protein safe and palatable for crew consumption. Pickled shark provided essential protein during voyages through tropical waters, where shark hunting was possible but other protein sources were scarce. The preservation process created foods with extended shelf life that improved in flavor during storage, making shark an increasingly valuable food source as voyages progressed. This technique allowed sailors to utilize abundant ocean resources that would otherwise be unavailable for food, creating protein security during extended deep-ocean expeditions. Seabird preservation. Medieval sailors mastered seabird hunting and preservation techniques that provided fresh protein during ocean voyages when other hunting opportunities were limited to bird populations. Following ships or nesting on remote islands. Coastal village records of sailor provisioning document seabird preparation methods that maximized nutrition while ensuring preservation during extended sea voyages. Different bird species required specific preservation approaches, large seabirds for substantial meals, smaller birds for quick consumption, fatty birds for oil extraction. The preservation process involved immediate processing of caught birds, removing feathers and organs, then salt curing or smoking meat for extended storage. Seabird eggs were also preserved through salt packing or pickling techniques that maintained nutrition while preventing spoilage in ship conditions. Bird fat was rendered for cooking oil and preservation medium, while feathers were saved for insulation and comfort items. The technique required understanding seabird behavior and migration patterns to maximize hunting success during specific voyage segments. Preserved seabirds provided essential fresh protein that supplemented other preserved foods while offering variety that improved crew morale. This method utilized renewable ocean resources available at specific locations and seasons, creating opportunities for fresh food acquisition during otherwise monotonous preserved food diets. Emergency techniques. Turtle shell storage. Medieval sailors utilized large sea turtle shells as natural food storage containers that provided waterproof preservation systems during ocean voyages when traditional storage materials were damaged or unavailable. Medieval navigation texts include turtle shell storage guidance that enabled crews to create emergency food preservation using materials obtained during voyages. Large turtle shells were cleaned and prepared as natural containers that resisted saltwater damage while providing airtight storage for preserved foods. The shell's natural shape and size made them ideal for storing various foods, meats, dried vegetables, rendered fats while protecting contents from ship moisture and salt air. Different turtle species provided shells with varying storage qualities. Based on size, thickness, and natural waterproofing characteristics, the technique required understanding turtle hunting and shell preparation methods that maximized storage capacity while ensuring food safety. Turtle shells served as renewable storage solutions available in tropical waters where turtles were abundant, providing emergency preservation options when traditional containers failed. This method created sustainable storage systems using natural materials that could be obtained during voyages rather than requiring pre-voyage provisioning. Island fruit drying. Medieval sailors developed tropical fruit preservation techniques during island stops that created vitamin-rich foods essential for preventing scurvy during extended ocean voyages without fresh produce. Royal Navy commissary records from maritime campaigns document fruit drying methods that sustained crew health using tropical resources available at island provisioning stops. The drying process involves slicing fresh tropical fruits, mango, papayas, bananas into thin strips that dried quickly in tropical sun while ships were anchored for repairs or provisioning. Different fruits required specific drying techniques based on moisture content and natural sugar levels that affected preservation success. Properly dried tropical fruits provided essential vitamins and natural sugars that maintained crew health, while offering variety from monotonous preserved food diets. The technique required timing island stops with optimal weather conditions for effective fruit drying before departure. Dried tropical fruits could last months in ship storage while maintaining nutritional value essential for crew health during subsequent ocean crossings. This method utilized renewable tropical resources to create health-supporting foods unavailable through other preservation techniques during long voyages. Medieval versus modern marine food systems. Medieval sailor food preservation techniques demonstrate remarkable ingenuity that created sustainable ocean nutrition systems without requiring complex technology or external energy sources. Medieval methods utilized renewable ocean resources, natural preservation processes, and adaptive techniques that worked specifically in maritime environments, creating food security systems that functioned reliably for voyages lasting years. Without resupply opportunities, modern marine food systems depend heavily on refrigeration, chemical preservatives, and complex supply chains that require constant energy input and technical maintenance. Contemporary ships need massive freezer systems, regular resupply operations, and sophisticated logistics that make long-distance voyaging dependent on shore-based support systems. Medieval techniques worked with ocean environments rather than fighting them, utilizing natural preservation processes, abundant marine resources, and adaptive methods that improved with experience. These systems created food variety through seasonal and geographical adaptation, while modern systems often provide consistent but limited food options throughout voyages. The medieval approach emphasized skill development, resource adaptation, and sustainable practices that enabled indefinite ocean voyaging using only materials available during expeditions. This contrasts with modern dependence on prepackaged foods, artificial preservation, and complex technology that limits voyage duration and requires extensive shore-based support infrastructure for successful ocean expeditions. Medieval sailor preservation techniques succeeded because they were specifically developed for ocean conditions, utilizing natural marine resources and working with rather than against maritime environmental challenges. These methods created renewable food systems that improved with experience while providing nutrition variety essential for crew health during extended voyages. The techniques utilized abundant ocean resources, saltwater, seaweed, marine animals that were constantly available rather than requiring pre-voyage, provisioning, or complex storage systems. Natural preservation processes worked reliably without requiring energy, input, or technical maintenance that could fail during rough weather or equipment damage. Medieval sailors also developed comprehensive knowledge about nutrition, timing, food, combination, and health maintenance that prevented common maritime diseases while sustaining crew performance during demanding ocean work. This holistic approach created food systems that supported both physical health and psychological well-being during challenging voyage conditions. The adaptive nature of medieval techniques allowed sailors to modify preservation methods based on available resources, voyage conditions, and crew needs, creating flexible food systems that could handle unexpected situations or extended voyage durations without compromising crew survival. Medieval sailor preservation techniques prove that ingenious food systems can sustain human survival during extreme challenges using only natural resources and traditional knowledge. These ocean-tested methods offer practical solutions for modern emergency preparedness, sustainable living, and food independence that work without complex technology or external support. Subscribe to discover more maritime survival wisdom that sustained ocean explorers for centuries. Learn traditional techniques that could revolutionize your approach to food security and emergency preparedness.